and landed with a horrible crash. "Oh no," he yelped in a helpless heap. "I'm done for," he cried in fear, for not only was he seeing stars, but the bucket was stuck on his head. Suddenly he was hoisted high into the air. "Please let me go," Mr. Bubble squeaked, yet higher still he went. "Don't pluck out my wings," he begged. "Whatever would we do that?" came a tiny voice as he was set gently upon the ground. Then the bucket was lifted away, revealing a splendid sight. "Fairies!" he buzzed with relief. Looking about, he realized how wrong he had been. Indeed, there wasn't one monster in the entire clover patch. As for the lift the fairies gave him, it was the best flight he had ever had. "If I could fly like a fairy," he sighed, "I could gather pollen as well as the other bees." "We can teach you," the fairies chimed. "We'll show you how it's done." Mr. Bumble's first lesson was in taking off, so they launched him from a tiny blue bonnet. Beneath him, they stretched a spiderweb net to catch him if he fell. With a boing and a buzz, he sailed into the air, flying higher and straighter with each and every try. And when Mr. Bumble took off without trouble, the fairies knew it was time for his next lesson: how to land gently upon a flower. They guided Mr. Bumble by daisy chains so he couldn't belly flop. He learned to step upon flowers without disturbing a single raindrop. For the first time, he buzzed without buzzing, flew without fumbling, and twirled without tumbling. "I can finally fly with grace," he cried. This called for a celebration, so the fairies held a flying party for Mr. Bumble, where he could give all their tricks a whirl, and never before had the skies been filled with such fancy feats of flight. Soon it was time for Mr. Bumble to go, so he filled his bucket with pollen. "Thank you, my friends," he buzzed, as they all waved goodbye.